Hello everyone, welcome to Hema's Home and Garden USA. Today's video is about yearly starting ginger. Ginger is mostly cultivated in tropical countries where it takes 7 to 10 months to mature. But I have only 7 months of growing season. That is from April to October in my area, that is in zone 7B. But the problem is ginger takes 2 months to sprout, and I can save 2 months of time if I early start my ginger indoors. How did I do this? Let me show you. The first step is choosing your ginger rhizomes. Like when I went to the store to buy ginger, there were two types of ginger. One was the organic ginger, what you are seeing now in the screen, and the other one was the regular ginger. You can see the size difference is huge. The organic ginger is way too smaller than the regular one, and the price difference is not much, only the size difference is there. So I chose to buy only the organic ginger. I wanted to grow something organic for my family. So after buying the ginger, look at all these growing tips. This is where the ginger is going to show the sprouts. So I placed all the ginger pieces in the paper towel and sprayed some water on the ginger and on the paper towel. Don't spray too much water, just enough to wet. If you spray too much water, the ginger rhizomes may rot. So make sure you are spraying just enough water. After spraying the water, fold the paper towel and put the whole thing with ginger rhizomes inside the Ziploc cover. After packing the ginger rhizomes in the Ziploc bag, I kept the Ziploc bag in room temperature for the next few weeks. I started everything on December 23rd. Not only this bag, I had totally 3 Ziploc bags of ginger started like this. After 15 days, I opened one bag to see how the ginger rhizomes are doing. I could see the growing tips that I showed you earlier. They had even more visible growth. So I was quite happy with the result. I was quite happy with the outcome, so I decided to go ahead with the next step. So I took a wide plastic bowl, filled the base with some moist soil, and placed all the ginger rhizomes with the growing tips facing towards the sky, and then covered the rhizomes with the moist soil. During that time, I did not have enough soil to pot each ginger rhizome individually. So I decided to put everything together in a bowl and filled it with soil. So if I had enough soil at the time, I would have potted everything separately. After doing this, I placed the bowls next to a sunny window. If you check the soil, you can see the soil looks very dry on the top. So that is how it is supposed to be. You can water the bowls once every week. So after 9 weeks of time, the ginger has sprouted beautifully, and this is how it looks. Actually, the ginger started showing the green sprouts within 6 weeks of time, but I waited too long. I was kind of lazy to record a video. So this is 9 weeks growth. At this stage, I had to separate all the ginger rhizomes and pot it up individually, because ginger usually multiplies in the sideways. So it's better for me to separate it at this time, so that when the season comes, when it is time to plant outside, it's easy for me to plant it. I used a shallow tray for the purpose of recording a video. So after removing the whole thing from the pot, I added some water on the soil, because adding water loosens up the soil. This works not only for ginger, even if you have any seedlings that are growing together, like 2 seedlings growing together in a single cell, you can soak them in water and separate them easily. So after soaking the roots for some time in water, it was quite easy to remove the ginger rhizomes separately. If you use a deeper tray, a tray that is more deep and wide, it will be even more easier to remove the rhizomes separately. I am using a shallow tray just for the purpose of recording a video, but it was not that difficult for me to remove it. It came out quite easily. I guess it took me around 15 minutes to separate all the rhizomes. Once I separated everything, I potted everything up individually, like every single piece of ginger in an individual pot. That way, when it is time to plant outside, when the weather warms up, I can give some space between each ginger so that it has enough space to grow, enough space to multiply. So that was the main reason for potting up individually. So once separated, every single ginger rhizome went into the individual pots. So that was not hard. After potting everything separately, the main thing I have to do is harden up the ginger, because all these days these ginger rhizomes were growing in room temperature in indirect sunlight. So it is very important to keep these ginger plants in sun every few hours in a day. So that way the ginger will get used to the direct sunlight. So if you don't do this step and if you go and pot it up outside when the weather warms up, the next day with the heat of sunlight, sudden exposure to sunlight, the plants may wilt. So you don't want that to happen. So that is why hardening of the plants is very important, not only for ginger, for any other plants that you grow indoors. You cannot go and plant it outside suddenly. You have to keep those plants in sunlight every few hours, every single day. That way it gets used to the direct sunlight. Now that everything is potted up individually, I still have 3 more weeks of time to keep it indoors, because I cannot go right away and plant it outside. So I'll make another video when I plant these outside. For that, to follow that, please subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any updates. Thank you all for watching.